The other important thing about our boats distinguishes us from the competition, the 5-piece construction. There's a good description of that in the tech manual. We have 5 major molded parts that run the length of the boat. Obviously the hull, which is internal flange, and then the grid, which you'll see, which is a molded, dedicated structural component. The tops of the grid members are made out of unidirectional roving, very heavy laminate. They create cavities in which we put tanks, subsole, and batteries, all the big heavy things, and create engine mounts and support the keel loads. Then the hull liner goes on top of that. And the advantage of separating the grid from the hull liner, as opposed to using your hull liner as a grid, the way everybody else does it, is that you don't compromise either one of them. You can make that structural grid strong where it needs to be strong. You can put the components exactly where they need to be, dictated by loads you're going to take or support. And it does not have to be compromised for furniture. Also, by making the hull liner a separate part, we can mold in all sorts of features for the hull liner because it doesn't have to have a structural contribution, IL. So, and we can mold in furniture bases and make this work exactly as it needs to work, to be a hull liner, and keep it much, much lighter. So you're not overbuilding furniture because you're expecting to be structured. We found a real engineering advantage of separating both components. It meant an additional very large tool to build that's 45 feet by 13 feet 7 inches, but it made sense to do that. And that's something we've done on all of the boats from the 350 up. Then the deck, which is balsa core, ingrained balsa core, and the deck liner. And one of the changes we've made with this boat is we don't fully bond the deck liner everywhere. Other models, we've completely bonded the deck liner to on the deck or on, say, the weather decks, and around all chain plate attachments, around the companionway, where anything's going to be, where there are going to be any loads on the deck. But we saved a lot of weight by doing that. We bond these two parts together, and you'll see it. When the deck is still in the mold, inverted, and the deck liner is still in the mold, we invert both molds and press both molds together so that they're held in perfect conformation. So there's no distortion of either one of them. You get a really fine fit. The way this boat's assembled at the stern, you'll see it, we don't have a lot of tolerance for assembly of parts. We can move the deck forward about 1/8 of an inch or aft about 1/8 of an inch. That's it. So when you're dealing with parts that are 45 feet long, 1/8 of an inch tolerance fore and aft is pretty tight, but we've designed the tooling so everything indexes very closely together.